Holy shit, they did it. Hi, sorry to cut the opening bit off like that. Simple and Clean, which is the opening theme for Kingdom Hearts 1, is owned by UMG, the same people who had that thing with TikTok last year and people's videos getting, flagged and taken down randomly, so I don't want to risk getting a copyright strike, so I'm just gonna cut that one off. Anyway, hi, my name's Matt, and I'm a big nerd. I think that's pretty obvious by the everything about me, but I really enjoy a lot of nerdy and that all started when I was the ripe age of 3 playing the Kingdom Hearts series. Kingdom Hearts has been a core part of my life ever since I was a child, and it will continue to be probably until the day I die waiting for like Kingdom Hearts 12 or whatever. I've stuck with the series through thick and thin, through a lot of thick, actually, now that I think about it. But anyway, you can read the title. You have eyeballs. The Kingdom Hearts series has finally freed itself from its Epic Games shackles and is now releasing on Steam, a platform where millions more people actually have active accounts, can enjoy the games, and can also enjoy the games without an internet connection. Yeah, because for some reason, Epic Games forces you to have an internet connection whenever trying to play any of the games in your library, even if those games are single player. Supposedly it's an anti-piracy measure, but like, come on. Epic, there are better ways of doing that. So to celebrate the Kingdom Hearts games coming to Steam, I thought I'd try to convince as many people as I possibly can to actually try out the series. There's a bunch of people who are like, yeah, I've heard of Kingdom Hearts. It's that weird, like, Disney, Final Fantasy amalgamation hybrid monstrosity. And you're right, it is. Most people also say, hey, isn't that the series with emo Mickey Mouse for some reason? And yes, yes it is. So you're probably asking yourself, why the hell should I spend, what, $180 total on a series?
Hey, editing Matt here. You can tell by the I haven't shaved in 4 days look. I just wanted to come here really quickly and correct myself. The games aren't $180. They're actually only $70 right now on Steam. There's a special promotion going on with the game's release. There's a package that includes Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, 2.8, and 3, and the DLC, all for $70. It's 31% off, so if you flip the 31 it's 13 and then it's only 70, which if you drop the 0 it's 7. The Kingdom Hearts marketing team will never cease to amaze me, but the games are on sale right now, so go and snag them while they're cheap. Go get them. They're fun, I promise. Okay, bye, enjoy the rest of the video.
Look, if I can convince you of anything, it's one, I understand that's a lot of money and the economy sucks right now, and I should probably use that money for groceries. But if you can afford them, they have really good gameplay and totally not an overcomplicated story that makes me want to bash my head through a wall sometimes. Not at all. In all seriousness, though, the Kingdom Hearts series are some of the best hack-and-slash action JRPGs ever made, in my opinion. They're super fun, they're super fast and fluid, and overall, good story, good message, good games. People don't make those anymore, apparently.
From humble beginnings.
I came here because it felt right to do this part here, but the Kingdom Hearts series started as an elevator pitch, essentially the office building that Disney and Square Enix shared, and one day, Shinji Hashimoto, the game's producer, happened to just walk into an elevator with a Disney executive. Him and Tetsuya Nomura, the game's director, had been throwing around a pitch for potentially doing something with Final Fantasy and Disney together, and Shinji just went for it. He was like, hey, what if we share the same building? What if we work together on a project? And the Disney executive ended up liking it so much that he gave Nomura and Shinji a full pitch meeting, and the rest is kind of history after that. That spirit has always kind of been carried throughout the Kingdom Hearts series, that like anything is possible so long as you keep trying, and that's one of the major themes, and I think that's a cool thing. That's a cool thing to have in mind. The combat in the games is the main selling point, right? It's very easy to understand, but very difficult to master. No, not that master, that's later. Sure, if you set the game to beginner mode, you're gonna be able to do the infamous strategy, but if you put the game at anything above standard, you're going to have to use all the tools at your disposal in order to overcome the challenges the game throws at you. As far as the standard combat goes, these are games like Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, where you have a menu in the bottom left corner of the screen where you can access all of your attacks and spells and form changes and stuff pretty much whenever you want it. So long as you have the resources to do a certain move or cast a spell, you can do so. Having access to all of your options all at once does allow for such fluid gameplay and can create cool moments like these from Kingdom Hearts 2, for example.
Take that. Take this. Yeah. Take this.
The other camp is the deck-building Kingdom Hearts games, and these are games like Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and yeah, even Kingdom Hearts Recoded. I know that game gets a lot of hate, but it is the original deck-building Kingdom Hearts game, and it does suck that it's trapped on the DS with days, but, you know, a man can dream. Anyway, these deck-building games are incredibly customizable. You can play the game essentially any way you want. You have, you know, physical Keyblade commands where you throw the Keyblade or do some sort of physical move with your body. You have spells, or you can just breakdance in the middle of combat for some reason. Actually, now that I think of it, there's multiple Kingdom Hearts games where you can just bust a move in the middle of a combat. Huh. I did mention there are some outliers to this buy approach, and of course there are because it's Kingdom Hearts and nothing can ever be simple and clean. The first outlier is Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. And yes, I know it is a deck builder technically because you build a deck, but instead of a deck of commands, it's a deck of cards.
My main man says, buy more cards!
These cards all have numerical values and control entirely what Sora does as far as attacks and spells and things. There's no basic just attack button. Everything is commanded by the deck. And again, this is the only Kingdom Hearts game that does that. And then there's Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2. Yes, that is how you say that title. In Kingdom Hearts Days, you do play as Roxas in the organization, and while you do have a regular-looking attack menu in the bottom left corner of your screen, it's an illusion. You have limited access to certain abilities and items and things that you put into a panel system. It's essentially like a grid where you play Tetris with your potions and spells and abilities and even your level ups in order to fit things in a certain confined space. If you can't fit something in the panel, you don't get to take it with you into a mission. So it does actually create some sort of strategy as far as what mission you're doing and what you should be taking with you, and should I take this spell, or should I put more level ups in, or should I have this Keyblade instead of this one because it takes up more or less space. And actually, it's a really intricate system and something I wish that they would, you know, remake for consoles. Yes, the Kingdom Hearts story. How I have such a love-hate relationship with you. The story is probably the thing that turns most people off from the series because they see some weird anime boy and then Donald walking around just next to him, but once you get used to it, it's more laughable than anything else.
No, I'm me. I'm me, he says.
I'll give you a little bit of the basics of the story so you understand what's going on, and maybe you'll actually want to play the games for yourself. So no major spoilers here, but just the basics that you need to know to understand what's going on. So our story begins, as all good stories do, following our protagonist, Sora. I said our protagonist, Sora. Sora. Look, maybe it's a little bit more complicated than I let on, alright?
Sora.
He's
Sora.
You're
Sora.
I'm
Sora.
Are there any other
Sora.
I should know about?
I am darkness.
I'm out of here.
Anyway, the story does follow a young boy named
Sora.
and his two best friends, Riku and Kairi, who are totally the only people who live on Destiny Island, and there are no other kids or any of the Final Fantasy characters that you never hear from again or anything. These three kids grew up together on this island, and they are looking for a way, as they've heard stories, to leave the islands and explore the other worlds in the universe. They do what any rational 14-year-old would do in this situation, and they build a raft because they think they can sail away. The sticks did them dirty. Before they get a chance to actually use that raft, a storm of darkness comes to their home island. Sora, seeing this storm, jumps out of his bedroom window, leaving his parents behind, never to be heard from again, and his dino nuggies cold.
Sora, dinner's ready. Come on down. Sora?
Honestly, that's the biggest travesty here. After getting to the island and seeing that Riku and Kairi's rafts were there, Sora finds Riku in a pool of darkness and tries to call out to him, but Riku's like, no, this is my way out, and vanishes. Sora is trying to reach out for him, ends up getting swallowed by the darkness as well, but at the last second, saved as a giant random key thing appears in his hand. After hearing the whispers of the Ancient One in his ear from this thing, he ends up using that to fight the Heartless, which are the mobs of darkness that you fight against in the Kingdom Hearts series primarily, and ends up getting sucked up by the giant floating orb of death in the sky. Right, I forgot to mention, there's a giant floating orb of death in the sky. Sora ends up getting sucked into it and wakes up in a world he's never seen before, known as Traverse Town. So Sora wakes up in Traverse Town, is immediately found by Leon, Yuffie, and Aerith of Final Fantasy VII. Leon and Sora spar, Sora's knocked out. And when he wakes up, Leon explains to him that he is special and that the weapon he carries is what's attracting the Heartless to him wherever he goes. Simultaneously, Donald and Goofy are getting lectured by Aerith in the room directly behind Sora, as they are trying to find any information they possibly can on the key bearer.
Goofy!
Now, Donald and Goofy were sent on a mission by King Mickey. Mickey says he's on the search for a Keyblade of his own, or something to seal the door to darkness, and that Donald and Goofy should go and try to find the other version, the one of light, which is the one that Sora ends up carrying. Eventually, when Sora, Donald, and Goofy run into each other, and I mean like they physically run into each other, after fighting a couple waves of Heartless and arguably one of the best designed bosses in the Kingdom Hearts series, Sora, Donald, and Goofy end up teaming up and exploring the worlds together. Sora goes on a quest to find Riku and Kairi, while Donald and Goofy go on the quest to find their beloved king and to follow the Keybearer. After that, they visit all the Disney worlds in the game, and honestly, this is kind of the basic format of how the Kingdom Hearts games work. It's like a lot of exposition in the beginning with base Kingdom Hearts characters and maybe some Final Fantasy characters. Sora, Donald, and Goofy, or protagonist, goes to all of the Disney worlds, makes friends, learns lessons, gets stronger and gets abilities, and then a lot of exposition at the end and the conclusion and final battle or whatever. That's the base formula for the Kingdom Hearts series. Eventually, after meandering through the Disney worlds for God knows how long, Sora, Donald, and Goofy end up in a world called Hollow Bastion. Through certain circumstances, Sora loses the ability to wield the Keyblade, and Donald and Goofy end up following the person who takes the Keyblade, as their mission is to follow the Keybearer, not particularly stick with Sora. But after making his way through Hollow Bastion without the Keyblade, with the aid of Beast from Beauty and the Beast, which I know that's weird, but stick with me, Sora ends up finding Donald, Goofy, and said person, and ends up confronting them while he's about to be murdered. Goofy comes in, protects Sora, and is like,
Sora ain't gonna go anywhere, but I'm not gonna betray Sora either, cause he's become one of my best buddies after all we've been through together.
Goofy, unironically, is simultaneously the smartest and most goated character in the series, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But Goofy does this, Donald follows suit, and Sora utters the infamous line that everyone knows and has been memed to death.
I've become part of their heart just as they become a part of mine. And if they think of me now and then, if they don't forget me, then our hearts will be one. I don't need a weapon. My friends are my power.
And that's kind of like the core message of the series, right? Obviously, as the games go on, you play as different characters, each with their different motives and different goals and tragic stories in certain cases, but the main theme that was set up by the first game that is carried through the rest of them is the power of friendship and what it means to be a true, kind friend to another person, another being, another thing. But that core message is what ends up sticking through the whole series, and why I think these games are something that everyone should experience or play at least once in their lives. You know, I've been playing the Kingdom Hearts series since I was a very, very young kid, and there's definitely something to be said about the media that we consume when we're young and how it affects us and how we grow up with it. And yeah, there's been studies done that show that the media we consume when we're young and in those crucial developmental years definitely influences us and how we act and how we behave and who we are. But there's a reason why adults go see movies, right? There's a reason why we read books. There's a reason why we seek out validation and stories and things to entertain us, because we want confirmation on how we are as people. And I think the Kingdom Hearts series is a shining example of something that is both fun and giving the message that maybe we should be a little bit nicer to each other. You know, maybe we should think about how we treat each other, and maybe we should try to be friends with each other instead of being enemies. So with that, I have to go. I have to I have to cross the ocean and grovel on my knees and really hope and pray that Tetsuya Nomura will give us any semblance of Kingdom Hearts news soon. So with that, I bid you adieu.
I forgot. I can't swim.